Hey everyone, welcome to another wonderful episode of Funhaus where we discuss all of our favorite movies, like Aliens versus Avatars.
Whoever wins, we loses.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Apron. We'll be hearing more from them later, but right now we're going to talk about a little film that Lawrence and I watched begrudgingly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. How you doing, Elise? You're back.
I'm here. I'm just ready to get some aliens and avatars, not necessarily in that order.
Put your money down on who do you think wins, aliens or avatars?
I don't know anything about it. I don't know what kind of aliens.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. The title's actually misleading.
Yeah.
There's only one Avatar.
It's more like Avatars versus Predator.
It's more like single Avatar versus man in suit.
It's Avatar versus Species.
It's pretty,
Wait, Body Snatchers.
but not the movie Species.
No, it's bad. All of it.
Can I get some background of how you guys found this movie?
Well, yeah, I saw our Avatar video go up, and I thought, it'd be funny is if we re-reviewed Avatar because it's been a while, and I feel like we could all go back and realize that the movie's kind of hot garbage.
There's credit for the idea for the movie. You know it's a great movie when somebody got credited for the idea.
Oh, it's magic. Warning, there are boobs in here. We'll censor that, though.
Yeah, there are.
And I thought to myself, I wonder if anyone ever made a rip-off Avatar movie. And lo and behold, Aliens versus Avatars came up, and I felt the need to watch it. And Lawrence said I had nothing better to do, so we both came together and thought we would review this award-winning film. Oh, sorry.
Film.
Not. It just,
A masterpuss.
Let's see. A series of images that became a thing.
There are enough minutes in it to justify calling it a movie.
It is true.
Oh, yeah. Buxom duo.
Well,
this is my favorite.
Oh.
They're hiking, and they get to their campground, which is a cabin. They don't go inside, probably because they weren't allowed to.
Uh-huh.
And then one girl's like, time to get some sun by the water. And she just throws a towel down on a dirt road and lays down on it.
These women are so quick to take their clothes off. Now I want to ask you, Elise, do you think our current protagoni are the main cast?
No,
you're
absolutely
wrong.
not.
Oh, you're right. Oh, here's our alien, Glorptrop.
Okay, there he is.
He is a Glorptrop.
Man, we'll
So
get
do you think
more to
the
the
basis
alien
of
later.
this was somebody wanted to combine James Cameron's universes?
Yes. No.
No. It's funny. So a good movie knows what it wants to be and gets really closer, gets exactly what it's trying to be.
Sure, yeah.
A bad movie tries to be something and can't quite get there, and you as a viewer would be like, oh, you were trying to be blank. Mm-hmm. A horrendous pile of shit doesn't even know what it's trying to be. I think this movie's trying to be a 50s like alien throwback thing.
Kind of, but it's also very like 80s and 90s horror.
Yes. So it's all these dumb things that don't congeal into anything. Like with the bad special effects and especially the horrible music, all like the royalty-free music. You could make a case for it being like Ed Wood styled, and maybe if it were more self-aware and had some fun, it could be like a referential throwback kind of thing. But instead, I'm pretty sure they just made an awful movie, and then after the fact, we're like, what are 2 search terms we can title it to make it so somebody will find it on YouTube?
It's maybe made by somebody that loves genre filmmaking and is very savvy and knows the genres, but is inept as a filmmaker themselves.
I wouldn't even say that.
Oh, boy, I was making a pretty negative statement.
Yeah, no, there are a number of shots in this film that, as somebody who had to teach myself editing, there's a moment when you're learning the tools and you have an idea in your mind about what you want something to look like, and you Google it and you find the tool that you think is supposed to achieve that look, and you use the tool and it's not quite what you had in mind, like it's nowhere near the vision in your head. Most people keep trying. They'll like look up another tool, or they'll try another thing, they'll turn the knobs a little bit, try and get it closer. This movie is entirely about taking one stab at getting somewhere, falling way short, and just saying that's good enough.
I only just sat down, but I heard you use the term film. Now, to be
Loosely.
clear, none of this was shot on film.
You're absolutely right.
In
It's
the
all iPhones.
3 seconds I've seen of it.
Actually, wait, I take that back. This came out in 2011, which means that I don't think cell phones were this good at that point.
No,
they
this
may
wasn't
have
a
thought
cell
it.
phone.
How much do you think they made this movie
Oh,
for?
the Scythe.
How long is it?
Boop, boop.
How long is this?
It's only an hour and 14 minutes.
An hour and 14
I
minutes.
think they spent $20,000.
Are we counting stuff that they already had lying around?
She's really there.
Possibly, maybe.
Robotar pod launch.
Well, we can give you the quick summary of the plot.
Yeah.
A Scythe has crash landed on planet. and Alien launches Robotar.
Takes place on Earth. All of it takes place on Earth.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well, mostly in this campground. It's all in the woods.
Oh, campground.
So the
It's not a campground.
the fight for human survival, basically.
Oh, she spilled some wine on her shirt.
Yeah. Oh, this is just magic.
So,
but yeah, the entire fight is happening within these campgrounds
yeah.
because this Scythe alien is running around. Scythe is running around killing everyone.
Yeah.
But the Avatar woman must stop them. This is
She's
borderline softcore porno without the porno.
That's the Avatar woman.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a name for her species of alien. She says it a lot, and I don't remember what it was.
So why isn't the movie called Alien versus whatever the name of her species is?
Because that's not searchable. We wouldn't be watching it if it was the Globtrox versus Nebulons. Actually, maybe we would.
Maybe.
So these movies happen because someone likes movies, right? But they like movies in that they go and see a lot of movies, but they never think actually what goes into them.
That's
they
what
never
I said.
They never
That's my
receive any formal training.
But Lawrence told me I was wrong.
But they develop a certain skill set, which in this case I would say they figured out how to use After Effects to do some shit.
They did not use After Effects.
Their composition.
They did. There was After Effects.
No,
and
I'm
like,
almost positive that was Apple Motion
Their compositioning
or
isn't
Lifetype.
awful. Their editing isn't that bad.
I
I've
suppose
seen.
that's
I've
right.
seen.
it's hard to
much
tell
worse.
without.
that's fair.
It's hard to tell without like
I've seen much worse.
audio and stuff because
It
sometimes
gets
you'll
worse.
watch and it's like click. There's like a click every
Oh no,
single
I'm just
time
talking
someone
about their
talks.
visual
It gets worse.
composition.
It gets worse. It's one of those movies where obviously a lot more attention and editing effort was put into the first 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
we
Yeah,
got
it's already
titters too.
nudity.
Yeah, they're
Well-
not. Yeah.
So this is the weird part. It's in the early phase of the horror movie where it's very sexually titillating, and then spoilers. There's going to be an early kill. Like the sexually active young teens get slaughtered in the woods, despite it also having aliens and having a very like 50s monster movie vibe to it. Or at least, if you want to be very generous, that's what you would say. Whoa! So like that stuff is campy and fun, but also, believe it or not, the special effects get worse as
Nah,
the movie
that was
goes
pretty
on.
bad.
Yeah.
But again, that's the kind of thing that you use like someone figured out how to do that with After Effects.
she's
or
in a
something.
driveway.
That's their skill set, and then they're like, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I can do X number of special effects shots, and I know that doesn't require anyone except for me. So I'll do those, but then I still need my friends and a location to shoot other stuff. So how much of that do I actually need to shoot to hit feature runtime, which means then I can throw it up on Amazon or whatever, and maybe someone will accidentally buy it for $3.
The only way I could find this movie was actually on YouTube for free.
Oh,
So I'm not even sure where it's being sold at the moment, other than probably the Latin market.
On his computer.
who are these bros?
He's got a Windows XP
right.
desktop on a CRT. This is in 2011.
It's pretty great. So these are two bros. They're going camping.
They are both young.
Would you be surprised that one? Yeah,
They're college kids.
That is the bedroom of the guy who makes the movie. Is
Yes.
making in charge of making the movie because it has a movie poster in the background for like a weird movie. It's like for some reason he's got it in his head that Once Upon a Time in America is like his favorite movie, which is just weird. And then he has a really big screen because he likes to watch his movies on it.
And he lives
Except
with his mom, so he can't watch them downstairs.
and he can't watch them downstairs. Except he doesn't actually know the filmmaking process or like have a true appreciation of it.
Well, no, he has a deft touch at characterization. The jock's got a football. The nerd's standing in front of a computer.
All this is obligation
Yeah.
because he wants to make a movie,
Yeah.
so that way he can say that he made a movie, but he doesn't have enough time or money to actually or knowledge to actually make a movie.
Anyway,
That's
so
exactly
I'm
right.
still blown away the fact that you can get people to take their tops off. How?
I don't think it's hard. I think you just ask.
Do you just ask? Is that how simple it is to get people to do nudity and
think-
like?
There are sociological studies designed entirely around how people's behaviors change when you point a camera at them. And getting chicks to take their tops off is one of those weird things that just becomes... It's like people kissing at baseball games. People don't do that. They don't... Like, if there were a crowd of people saying, kiss, 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 it would be weird. But if there's a stadium looking at a screen and a camera's right in your face,
So
you're probably going to do it.
This is kind of a strange part of the movie too, where there's way too many people. Obviously, 6. Like they overcast the movie for the car that they put him in because this girl in the middle, all she does is really complain and then walk away. At
Does
one
she
point,
die?
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Well, there you
everyone
go.
dies except for 2 of the characters, but like they didn't get a minivan.
It's a
It
Full
was-
House shot.
there's
Oh,
a
yeah, they reuse
lot
a lot of B-roll. So that shot appears about 10 seconds from now. So just wait for it.
Well, I mean, you rented the drone.
No, I mean they went to a stock site.
2011. I don't think.
Yeah.
Did they have drone cameras back then?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
well,
the
that's
shuttle.
stock footage, yes.
Well,
Hold on, wait for it. I think it comes.
It's
I
pretty
think
bad.
it's the next one. There she is.
All right, let's just
That's
reuse.
interesting.
Let's just reuse
Yeah.
it.
See, again, it's just chasing that runtime.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing is you're just trying to say we need to hit 112 or whatever it is, so that way we can.
Was that a Photoshop still?
I think that they that was like the one prop they had in the entire film.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's a lot of awesome shit where they
look
like
real.
they go into the woods and they have a backpack with like a box of Kleenex in it and that's it. They don't take their tents or anything like that. And then it cuts to them being at the campsite setting up 6 tents with like a stove and food and booze.
See, Lawrence has different problems with the movie than I
Yeah.
did.
These are the same things that AAA movies do. These same issues come up in Spider-Man: Homecoming,
But
but
at
you
least
don't
they're
notice them
masked.
because the rest of it is entertaining.
Yeah.
It's suspension of disbelief. It's fine to you don't have to see a bunch of campers carry 6 tents and then have them be at a campsite.
So they're
but
all college friends, huh?
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
are you looking up the plot?
They're all very much in college.
I think so. It's unclear because the one. Well, I mean, there's just like a lot of boobs hanging out in this movie. Not that you see anymore for the rest of the film. We're boobed out.
Yeah,
At
that's
this
it.
point, but everyone hates this the girl in the white shorts. She complains about everything, and they're all just like, "I hate her. I absolutely hate her." She even tries to sleep with one of the guys later, and he's just like, "I can't fuck you. I'm not like that." And so she runs off in the woods and dies.
Fucks the. I thought she
Yeah.
maybe has sex with the Avatar. Or the
I
I
alien.
wish.
Oh, here we go. The Avatar making process.
Did they ever explain why she had to make an avatar? Because so they make her like a hot human lady. Mm-hmm. Except everything that happens to her avatar happens to her too in a very Evangelion kind of way. So really, there's no reason she couldn't just go down to the planet as a blue alien girl.
does she blend in?
No.
Oh.
She's
Oh,
in the
not at
woods.
all. Oh, and then she even has a robot voice when she
Yeah.
talks.
She has a robot voice.
Is she
and
Robotar?
She's one of the worst actors.
No.
no.
She has sent Robotar.
Okay, because I'm looking at the trivia here, and there are two pieces of trivia. One is that it was released to capitalize on Avatar, and the second piece of trivia is that Adam Graham, who's credited for playing Robotar, also played the monster.
Good
Who
job.
was
Adam.
credited
We
as
don't know who
monster.
Who's credited as
Robotar is.
monster.
Pulling double
Yeah.
duty, huh? Man, hard day.
Seamless, right? Just there. I just love everyone's.
Making that campfire.
So
She's complaining.
She complains. Let's see
It's also weird for 2011. It has just some wretched dialogue. Basically, to the extent of like, jock dude is talking to his friend and he's like, "Chicks just want to get fucked, man. You just got to get in there and do it." Oh yeah, and they're fucking. They can like smell the dead body and they're still making out. That was kind of funny actually. But then like. He's like,
Nice
you
fire.
don't bang a girl you love the first time. You bang some dumb bitch and then you throw her to the side, bro. And then, yeah, there's that scene where, like, the Asian girl gets a little drunk and she tries to have sex with the good guy, who is the nerd, is the only other man in the film. And he's like, no, I'm too pure for you. And she's like, hey, fuck you. You were lucky that I would even try and come on to you four-eyed sack of shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's what women do. They get really angry when you turn them down for sex. So they're just... It's like it was written in the 80s or
It wasn't
somebody's
written.
mind was stuck in the
It
80s.
wasn't written.
No.
It's not written.
Yeah.
It's not any time period. It's because they all went to a place, and then he said, just say something about how he's stupid for not wanting to have sex with you.
No,
and then she just goes, fuck you, asshole. You don't want to have sex with me. You're so stupid, fucking asshole. And then they
Sadly,
film it, and
There's
they
a
go,
script.
good.
There's definitely
There's a script.
A script that's probably more bullet points than
No.
anything. I guarantee you it doesn't look like a feature film
I
script.
disagree. I think it's just somebody that doesn't know women wrote this script.
But they don't know men. They don't know anything.
sure, yeah.
But I
you're right.
guarantee you it's just because you need to get into
Oh,
the filmmaker's
this
mindset
part.
here, which is coaxing their time because he can't pay for it.
Yeah.
So he has to justify their time.
And-
So he has to go, just kind of say whatever, say something like this, and then they'll go, okay, I said whatever, and then that's why everything is it's a stupid, not thought out anything.
Well, not that I'm one to critique because I've never made a film.
Yeah.
But I thought even in this situation, less is so much more. Mm-hmm. Where I just wonder if anyone told the creator like, hey, so your alien suit kind of looks like shit. Maybe don't show it, and you might get away with some like actual frightening moments instead.
Yeah,
Oh, here we
Sure.
go.
Well, this is the fuck me, I don't want to fuck you.
There
she
How
goes,
dare
there she
you?
There's a certain evolution of how filmmaking works, right? Because these movies are not too different from movies that came out in like the 70s. They're not too different.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of no-name people getting together and doing it. The only difference is, as soon as you can shoot on digital and you can just roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll, and you can press a button that makes sure that the lighting's going to be okay and all kinds of stuff like that, that one moment where you have to second guess yourself goes out the window. There's no longer a filter between people that don't have any hint of talent and everyone else. So like when you have to shoot it on a Super 8 camera that still requires doing a light meter testing or something, and knowing that if you fuck up this shot, it's going to cost you another, $35 to go buy another reel to film it again, and it's going to take for fucking ever. It's a filter of people that don't have the tolerance to do that and don't want to pay attention to those details. So it's weird because the filmmaking process is the same. It's the same people with not great writing and not great dialogue and one prop or one special effect that they have to show off, except they could just film and film and film and film and film and film, and they could spend as much time as they want to doing it, as opposed to, all right, let's make sure the lighting's okay, let's roll on it, we got it. Like, there's no testing there. Just, sure, we'll figure it out.
This
The
part
night shots are decent.
there's
That's actually pretty well lit.
like they actually had some lighting here to a degree, and like, the little deacons right there.
Like,
they literally put a light behind him, but
Yeah, but I mean, if you were doing like a '50s monster movie throwback,
Yeah.
A+. Except it doesn't understand itself to really hone in on that. This would be so great if it were like, a man in a rubber suit's chasing a girl through the woods. That's a pretty like classic cinematic moment.
There are no techniques used to actually build
And the music's
fear
awful,
or
if you can hear
tension here.
It's like weird search.
It's like he's running
Turn
with
up
her.
the music, Adam, if you could.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Also, you know what this didn't have was a shot list.
Well, yeah.
They just got to a place and they're like, now we're gonna do the scene. Yes. We're gonna do the scene where he chases you, and then it's literally the guy behind the camera going like, go there, now run across this way. All right, now, and he looks around the scene and he goes, okay, we still have some light here, so go here and run across this way, and all that, and that's how it works,
I
That's
wish
how they
I
made
could have
this.
heard the notes that the director gave to her about how to behave like an alien avatar, because she's the most like. And then I went to the planet Zarkrax, where we discovered the Blomulars.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
she's kind of reminding me right now. I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 on the plane, and the Sovereign Queen. That's very stoic and like, you steal my batteries, Guardians of the Galaxy. She kind of has that like wide-eyed, weird vibe to her.
She does have an affordable look.
She's like a Data.
That's a really great phrase, Adam. I've never heard that before.
So they're out looking for their friend. She's gone, dead. Funny monster movie.
Her in the red top, I could see her being in like a Don't Breathe or something like that.
wait.
Like I could see her being somebody.
Doesn't he just right hook her
Yeah.
like, right on the ground? Yeah. Yep.
He's the hero of this
Yeah.
feature.
Did they unzip her shirt?
A little bit, just enough.
He punched her in the face so hard that her,
They had to
her
check
shirt
her
zipped
weapons.
down. This is my favorite. She does a lot of hand acting, even though her hands are very loosely bound.
Did she provide any sort of useful information to them?
Oh,
or-
plenty. She gives the entire backstory.
This is the
Okay,
lore-
so
this is
she's the
lore
exposition.
dump.
So that's why she had to become.
That's what I'm saying. There
So, all right.
is a script because she talks for about 20 minutes here and gives you the whole backstory of like how great they are and how peaceful they are.
So, but this is the fun part with these types of movies is are figuring out why they have certain things happen that don't seem like they make any sense.
Right.
So she transforms into an avatar, a human avatar of herself, to
Of
go
her
down to
avatar
communicate.
self.
But as you said, she still speaks like a robot, and they know she's bad immediately. So what's the point? The point is they didn't have makeup that day.
Yeah.
They had already filmed all of her shit in the spaceship
Yep.
because that was one afternoon of them doing all of that. But they still need to do this, and they're not going to set her up for every single shot because these shots probably took place over several weekends of filming. They're not going to do that every single time. That guy that promised him the favor of doing the makeup was gone. He said, "I'll do
No,
one cool setup."
It's because it's Avatar, so there has to be someone operating their avatar. That's why it's a human. And I don't think
it's funny
No,
that they
I think
flipped
if you want to paint somebody as an avatar, you paint somebody as an avatar.
I was gonna say as
a professional
avatar expert.
Scrubbing off the stains.
avatar performer, if you want
Community college.
if you need to communicate the performance of an avatar, you go to the lengths of embodying the character.
I would
this
say-
is not where you do not cut corners on this.
If you're ever curious why, in any of these types of movies, the answer is always convenience. It was more convenient to do it this way.
These are my favorite
No.
discussions, is puzzling out in reverse. Because it is like a mini mystery, except it's inductive instead of deductive. But I do love imagining the various parts that people played, how many people were involved. You can sort of suss these things out.
Well, you can read the credits at the end too. It's light.
Is it one guy who's like everything?
Well, one guy
Well-
was credited with the idea in the intro.
Adam
That's what I find
Graham or
amazing.
whoever played both monsters.
And I think 3
And-
people were
oh.
credited for special effects.
We'll get to Robotar in a
I think
second.
there's one writer.
But speaking of avatars, they are blue. You know what else is blue?
Aprons.
Our sponsor this week, Blue Apron. Very good, James. You win this week. You get the golden Sonic.
So jealous.
There you go.
Wow.
Look at you.
Not really gold. I'd like to let you guys know that Blue Apron, our sponsor for this podcast, is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Every single person here has used it. Bruce isn't here today, so we can all actually,
He doesn't cook.
we can finally talk about it. Yeah. I will cook for him one day.
Chipotle bowl by mail. Someday.
Blue Apron is on a mission, and that mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. Could not agree with that more. Blue Apron has established partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the U.S., and as a result, the food is good. I think we can all attest to this. I've done grocery shopping before, and I've done Blue Apron plenty of times. It's just different. They somehow, if you get a steak at the store, you can pay for the premium cut and get like the really good stuff that's expensive. But Blue Apron actually has affordable options, and I like that the cuts they send are really freaking good. It's some of like anytime we make tri-tip or any of those steaks, it's always some of the most amazing meat I've had.
All killer, no filler.
That's what I like.
I love that album.
Yeah, I love it. One of their notes here, I actually do like to touch on this. Say cooking together builds strong family bonds. Research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times more often. I do actually enjoy cooking. Like when you guys cook together, do you like one prep?
We talk about you, yeah.
You work together,
We're
yeah.
like, oh, Adam. Yeah.
You guys talk to me, talk about me.
Yeah, we're like, and then it
You're
brings us
cooking.
together because we're cooking together. We're talking about
Yep.
care for you,
Yep.
and it's a bonding experience.
I don't know. Are you normally just the cook, Lawrence, or does Stephanie help out?
Sometimes I do prep. Well, it's kitchen. Our kitchen is pretty small, so typically one person can be active in there at a time. But one of the it's funny because when you cook with people, you sort of settle into roles. I'll do like prep, I'll do all the chopping, and she'll do the cooking, and then I'll immediately grab stuff and clean it because I'm a little, I like to clean things before it dries and crusts, and god damn it, why can't you just rinse it with water? So I just do that myself, and everything's fine.
But what I love is because they package everything for you. So like when you're done with something, you're done with it.
Yeah.
It's out of the way. It's clear because it's only in the quantity that you need.
I kind of got my Blue Apron like trash box. That's like when I'm done with stuff, it just all the refuse just goes in there, and
All
it's
the
like
packaging is recyclable too.
yeah,
All of it.
it's fantastic.
In and out, it's great.
And speaking of their meals, they have some upcoming ones that they would like you to know about. There's the basil pesto chicken and summer vegetable panzanella. Lawrence, why don't you take that second one?
Sure. How about some sautéed shrimp and green beans with globe tomatoes, spinach, and orzo pasta?
I'd like to try the whole grain pasta and summer vegetables with heirloom tomatoes caprese salad.
I know what James will be cooking for me tonight. It's the miso butter salmon and lo mein noodles with cucumber and charm tomatoes.
Miso butter. Good combination of words there.
And finally, there's the meatball pizza with fresh mozzarella, cheese, and charmed tomatoes. And they also have different options. So they typically, I do the 2-person one. They also have family options. Haven't done that quite yet, but maybe if I ever have a family over or something, that's something I'll give a try.
Someone else's family.
Yeah, you know.
Kidnap a family.
I'm thinking about starting a service. We'll see. But either way, I'd like to let you know that Blue Apron, they're a fantastic sponsor and they're a fantastic business. They're affordable for less than $10 per person per meal. Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. So I want you guys to check them out if you have not already. So you can get this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/filmhouse. That's FILMHAUS. You'll love how good it feels and tastes great. Incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So please do not wait. That's blueapron.com/filmhouse. Blue Apron, A better way to
Better
cook.
way to cook.
Thank you, Blue Apron.
Do you think that's a Party City Black Widow costume?
It looks like a cheaper version than the one Ashley and Blaine wore for 11 Little
I bet
Roosters.
it's Avengers with the Uma Thurman, Ethan, and Hawk.
Oh, maybe.
Called the
Costume.
original Avengers.
It's
The
funny
true
because
Avengers.
I joked that it was vinyl, and Stephanie, who had the misfortune of being in the room, said, that is not vinyl. It is even cheaper than an actual bodysuit. Because it
Interesting.
looks like it came from Amazon.
It's like pleather.
Yeah.
She's
She looks good in it, though. You look good.
Nah.
Makeup could be better.
This was the best part. Remember, she was tied up,
Yeah,
and
they let her free.
she explained all the lore. So now she shows up while the other two friends are waiting, and so they both look at her and they're like, "Oh crap, we got to explain the lore again."
Oh no.
So they just do
They
the
just
fade.
crossfade, yeah.
You could kind of see the look on the actor's face was the one the director had and went, "Shit,
Yeah.
there's more people in this movie."
Well, I bet the director hadn't planned for it, and then one of the actors is like, "Am I supposed to know who she is when she walks over here?" And the director went, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Damn
Probably
it.
what happened is she probably phoned that morning and said, I actually have to work another shift, so I'm probably not going to be there until 4. And he's like, all right, well, we're going to shoot everything without you. And then he was thinking in his head, shit, when she shows up, we'll just say that.
Is there anything positive you can glean from this movie?
Cleavage.
Cleavage.
I
Like, is there any acting that's actually like
They
decent?
say the word
and-
Robotar out loud many times.
Yeah.
And that's funny.
So the thing is, the acting's bad, but it's not offensive. Like it's never. I can tell these poor souls were trying. They were acting their hearts out. Not
I have
Great.
something positive to say about all films of this ilk
Sure.
and its kind. There's a certain leadership aspect that I admire, a commitment and leadership to accomplishing something, no matter what it may be. And again, they're not hurting the world by putting this out. And I always think like, wow, this director, like, he did have to manage everyone's time and figure out how to make this happen, even if it was over the course of like 8 months on weekends. He still managed to do it. He managed to rally these people and have them believe in a project that he was working on enough that they would volunteer whatever time or money they were doing. And then he finished it, you know, for good or for bad, he finished it.
It's probably more than most of us have done, really.
Nope,
Absolutely.
nope.
Oh.
We've built channels
Oh.
and stuff.
Shit,
We've
no.
created hours and hours of content.
Well, I'm sure someone listening hasn't
I've never made a
I
movie.
painted myself
accomplished
blue.
accomplished
Just
it.
because you haven't made a movie doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you're not better than this.
Aw.
I mean, you've
The-
probably picked other skill sets that you could have gone after.
There's a
but
great moment of racism right here where the alien technology that protects them from the other aliens breaks down. So he hands it to the Asian
Yeah,
girl. Goes,
she
"Here,
fixes things.
you fix this." And she's
With
like,
a pocket knife.
She's like, "It's from a different like astral plane." He's like, "Yeah, here's a pocket knife."
You're good at math. Get in there. There's a. I've said repeated. I think the best shot this movie had of being good or at least enjoyable was really embracing its low budget 50s sci-fi aesthetic, and to a degree it almost does that. Right? There's the intro with the stupid UFO flying around.
Yeah.
I think why not go whole hog and just dangle a UFO from a fishing line?
It never goes full Sharknado or any of
Yeah.
those movies that go out of their way to be bad. Like you can kind of tell they were trying to
Yeah.
do something, and then at the very end they just
The props are very 50s. It's like it's a tricorder with little blinky lights on it. Like it's like someone was in on it, but not the director.
well, the irony of that is that those are probably the most expensive aspects of this whole production.
she's really trying to fix it.
Like
plus,
it
plus
used
her
to
heart.
be. It used to be. Oh well, it's really cheap to take a piece of fishing wire and then
my
put a
favorite.
plate on it because you're already spending hundreds of dollars a day filming your cheesy monster movie in the 50s, like with camera equipment and people's time and everything. That stuff is more time intensive than the other stuff. Now you flipped it because it's so cheap to film stuff that you might as well those props and everything and the cheesy aesthetic is harder to make happen than just going into the woods and just pointing the camera.
So, which aspect of production do you all think that if they had proved upon, it would have made the biggest difference in terms of the quality of this film? I'm going to say script. I'm going to say script.
I think you could. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good. I think if there's a lot of things that if somebody had just tried a little bit more, script is a big one. I think if the script were more like instead of just a dude holding if he came into the room, the jock dude with like a surfboard and like swimming trunks, he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like I think that would say a lot
That's
more.
a different head.
Yeah.
I think, and also for being like a special effects showcase, there aren't many near the end. It's more like, it's more practical of just like a dummy head rolling around. So I think if they had more extra cheesy special effects, that would have given it another little jolt. But like they just dragged the hue slider to the left for her being a. This part's pretty great. This part made me laugh. Yes. So this is what I think the movie probably could have stood to be in tone and execution for the whole thing. He fights Alien, I guess, but Alien is invisible, so we can't see it. And there's some pretty great and I hope intentionally comedic cutaways where like the monster swipes at the camera and then he's like, whoa. So it's a great like this stuff. This is genuinely like fun.
I don't think they meant for this to be funny.
I mean, funny, not necessarily. I just think it's fun. It's like this is a cute scene. It's, but the payoff is great. By the way,
here it is.
Here it is. He's swinging so hard. Come at you, motherfucker!
Oh no!
Oh, see, that's fucking awesome.
That 3 seconds right there.
And then
But
Yes.
again, this is probably the most expensive part of the whole movie.
fair.
And
Yes.
they had one.
If the alien had just shrugged there,
Yeah.
would have been
The best part is I noticed this on my second watch viewing now with you guys. They only had one prop head that they keep throwing around. So even if it's an
Only
Asian
women
woman,
get beheaded, yeah.
But if
Yeah.
that was actually like a
yeah, then he
self-aware
rolls up with her in a headlock?
joke that they made,
So there's another like kind of joke here, except it's not executed
if they
as well.
if they made a self-aware joke where they said we only have one prop head, so we're gonna make it a gag through the movie that every time somebody gets
oh,
beheaded,
they try to hide it though.
So then
was
when a
crap.
guy gets, so two women get beheaded, it's the same head, and then a guy gets beheaded and it's the same head. Like if they, there are things you can do, but clearly there wasn't a visionary behind the writing here,
Weird
or
framing.
or thinking that it would be comedic.
Rule of thirds, though. Put him right there. Uh-oh. He's really the alien tar. The fight at the end of Robotar versus
Alien.
Kroglax, I can't remember. That's pretty good, too. I'll give it. It does have a pretty good cheesy finale.
It's somewhere up there with like an old episode of Power Rangers.
Yeah. Is this
How dare you.
uploaded to the director creator's official channel?
No, God no.
Okay.
It's hard to find.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I'm wondering how much money has actually been made off of this, because it
How you
has
wouldn't
this
money
cult
off it.
status of being horrible.
It's not a cult status.
It's not? Oh, okay.
It's Adam and Lawrence found it,
Adam found it.
or Adam found it and he shared it with Lawrence, and now the Funhaus audience can watch it with
I'm
us.
glad though. This is how you discover the new wave of cheese. Because I found Neil Breen randomly. It was one of those 2 a.m. specials when I didn't know what I was doing and was clicking on everything on YouTube. Also, we were doing, of course. But yeah, that's. I mean, this. I don't think that this necessarily hits the cutoff of. Oh yeah, those special effects aren't so hot. This doesn't necessarily hit the cutoff of being like a cheesy masterpiece, but it's close in some ways. And I think if this is your thing, if you like watching cheese cinema, you can. I don't know how this phrase works out, but you can do worse than this. There are things about it that are charming. And also during that scene, she was like, she got wrecked up. She's so hurt, but all she does is clutch her stomach until the alien wanders off, and then she gets up and she's like, I'm better now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some continuity things going on.
There's a lot of silliness.
All right, she's got to repair the Robotar.
There's Robotard. He's great.
That's a cool suit though. So if they're going down the like man in a rubber suit, like creature from the Black Lagoon stuff, that's a pretty solid crappy 50s robot outfit.
Kinda.
Yeah, it is pretty.
I mean, and once he starts
Pretty
walking
hokey.
around, it's like, okay, A+ on that. You got a dude in a suit in the woods going, blah, blah.
It's very hokey.
There's a lot of moments of just like, the robot's broken. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah,
I fixed it.
I don't understand this whole plot arc. This was, I think, James, to your point, there was an entire section at the end that just tacks 15 minutes onto the movie for no reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think like this director should have made a short. They could have worked on a micro scale to take their resources and really conserve them in a more truncated way to make something that's better minute for minute.
My thought is this was a.
It's got a claw hand.
It was somewhat of a financial grab, because they said we can just call this
Yeah.
whatever, and use the word alien. We can legally use the word aliens and avatars, and someone will accidentally buy it.
Sure.
Like, is there really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the monster lays eggs.
And then he has to smash the eggs. Oh, got him. Just ran up and swapped them.
Yeah.
What? So you got to break the alien eggs so they don't hatch more alien tars. Yeah.
You're a dick. Those are my eggs. Yeah.
Well, so the funny thing is, we're laughing at a lot of the like really dumb moments in
That's
this.
fucking awesome.
I always think of the second Mummy movie, where they had a very similar shot to that, where it's just a locked off shot and a dude runs off screen and does a thing. Like even movies with multi-million-dollar budgets have really dumb shots.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Go Robotar, go!
I mean, the reason that shot stands out though in Mummy 2 is because it's literally the rest of the movie is littered with shit. It's just constantly stuff happening and like bad CG, and like the camera never stops moving, and that's the one time it stops moving, and you're like, oh, it's because the director didn't realize the impact of that moment until it was a little too
Tell me
late.
that Robotar makes it.
I think everything explodes,
Ah, dang.
if
This
I
is weird,
remember
though.
correctly.
He shoves a stick through an alien man who was supposed to be like a genetically engineered super monster, or whatever.
Man, it's fine. Either way, the monster and Robotar are played by the same person.
Yeah, no shit they are.
It's
the
already
only
makes
guy who wanted
sense.
to-
I'm telling you, convenience is always the answer.
He's the
How
only-
come they don't fist fight? How come the monster doesn't fight Robotar hand to hand? Well, how come
This is
Robotar
awesome.
never moves from one shot?
Boom!
How come they use the video co-pilot effect for an explosion?
Look at that.
Because the
Why is
same
it
guy's
green
in
smoke?
Robotar. Probably because he's like, I like building this shit.
Yeah.
The guy's like, you like it. Everyone, all of these things are always basically Steve Jobs and Wozniak, right? Like
Oh.
in their garage, there's always like the
God.
auteur, and then there's the person who actually makes shit. And so then they come together. The problem is, depending on how good either of them are at those skill sets, is the end result of what it is. So,
Oh,
These two hook up?
Yeah.
I forget their story. I think they're like childhood best friends.
Yeah. And like there's a line at the beginning where like Chad Bro is trying to convince Nerd Guy to get laid. And he's like, well, I kind of like her. And he's like, don't worry about her. She's not like these other skanks. She's like smart and stuff. And she can like, I don't know. She's just not a slut. It's just, so she's like the only actual human among a whole roster. He gets first credit for being in the movie for 10 seconds.
is he the guy who made
He's
it?
not the
Maybe.
director. No.
He's either the guy. He's either involved in somehow with money or something, or he like gave them access to this
Well,
place.
it's not order of appearance, is it?
No, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't the first in the
No.
movie.
Hold
Is
on.
it order of death?
Is it order? Is it alphabetical order but by first name? He was Dan, and they were both G.
Oh, you
Might-
could be right.
You might be right.
It's alphabetical by first name.
Oh,
No.
No.
Nope, they've
Now it's
Ruined
just
it.
now it's just all over the place.
Also, so like this credit sequence, it's trying to do like the high contrast, pulpy image style. I've seen it in other movies done way better, and it's like they just twiddled the knobs in After Effects, and you're like, it's good enough.
Yeah, because they don't know how to do the other effect.
Just keep twirling the knobs until you get closer.
They didn't credit the guy that
Spend
played
another 10
Monster.
minutes.
Oh, Adam Graham.
Same guy.
Yeah.
But I just love that Monster was
Monster.
credited as Monster.
Actually, I wish I could take a picture of that to make that my desktop background.
It's on YouTube.
I'll give it to you.
Actually,
Yeah.
can you switch that out for Monkey?
Louis
Yeah.
Schoenberg.
Let's get Monster
Yeah,
on there.
Schoenbrunn. All right.
Oh boy.
Dave Sterling.
Well, thank you
Co-producer.
for
three
join-
producers.
There's a lot of producers on this. So thank you for joining us on the whirlwind of emotions that is Aliens versus Avatars. We're hoping to keep reviewing like Oscar material here on the show. I think it's good stuff. I like watching this.
Oscar Mayer that did the craft services.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, they had to pay for it.
Do you think? Oh, so Jason Perry did CG effects and music. Did he just look for music and sound editing? Did he just look for music in? Do you get music credit for like looking up royalty-free music and putting it in the movie?
Let us know in the comments
Yeah,
below.
please. Because I can start a fucking career being a music guy then.
Yeah. Zach Braff did it. That's how he got an Academy Award. He just put a playlist together.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Movies are easy.
Yeah. I think if anything we've learned here, movies are easy. And anyone can make it. And you should go make one.
Anyone can make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make a good movie.
Like Aliens versus
But
Avatars.
I admire Louis Schronbarn for finishing what he started, and getting all these people to believe in him while he was doing it. And best of luck to him in his future endeavors.
He did trick a lot of people, much like we tricked you into watching this thinking it was a sequel to Avatar or something like that.
Did they have a credited editor? I don't think they did.
The movie just kind of happened.
Huh.
They just
The
kinda-
in-camera editing.
Yeah, they just stop, go, stop, go. But once again, thank you everyone for watching and or listening. And if you enjoyed the show, tell a friend or two, maybe three. Thank you, Blue Apron, for sponsoring this podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Oh, yeah, look at all these great films that this production house has also put out.
Is it the production house or the distributor?
I don't
I don't know. I'm going to actually go down the list, though, and find some of these.
It's a good-
Yeah, they probably just are like, sure, we'll sell it.
Right.
It is a movie factory.
We'll print the
Yeah.
DVD studio file that you sent us, and then there we go.
And money is made.
So
They're-
where did this idea
they're
come
a
from?
bunch of guys
An
that-
executive, possibly?
An advertiser, I believe.
If
Yes.
you, if you look at the way it played out, it's like, oh, it'll be inside of a phone, and then
Right.
the door's wide open. We can have any number of partners pay to be in this movie.
Yeah, we'll just spread the word. Say we're making a movie about apps.
Yeah.
And then if you want your app featured in it, then and it probably was paid for itself